What's up guys, it's Drac, and this is a box. So this is our first like blaster review in the new studio, and I think that it's gonna be cool. If you hate this new format, let me know. We'll do some POV with this blaster in like a versus or a comparison, or maybe even in the mod guide later on down the road. But this is a brand new 2018 blaster. Let's see. So the front comes to us from Brian, or Hoffer, or Buff Daddy, as he is known in the NIC. It says, OMG, fan mail. This is not fan mail. Don't lie to me, Hoffer. I get really excited about my fan mail, and that is not what this is. For those of you that actually want to send fan mail, this is the correct address, and it is in the description box down below. It also says, almost as handsome as Bobo, and my favorite vampire, with exactly 5 heart emojis. So, let's get right into it. I doubt that there will be too terribly many surprises in here, but Hoffer found these pretty early. I don't know if he found them up in Canada, went up to get a second one for me, or if he found them somewhere up closer to him. He's been hunting these new blasters, and I'm just thrilled to have one in the workshop, because not only will I be doing a full review and breakdown of it, we will also be doing a modification guide. So inside we've got some safety orange duct tape and a whole lot of nothing else. So this is the Nerf Delta Trooper, and we got to play with this at Toy Fair, but we didn't get to crack it open, we didn't get to tinker with it, we didn't get to talk about it, and it's like modification potential and whatnot. So they're advertising it as a 4-in-1 blaster. This is kind of weird. It's like clearly the spiritual successor to the Retaliator, in that it has this front... Oh no. The karambit's just stuck in the floor, guys. Oh wow, it was really in there too. Should I edit that out? I don't know. Downside of the new studio, boys. Where was I? So, it's clearly the spiritual success. It's just in the floor. Spiritual successor to the Retaliator. It has a stock, it has a top priming slide, and it has a barrel attachment. Now, it doesn't have the goofy little flip-up sight, but that never made a whole lot of sense to me anyway. I think this was on sale. Brian found it for 30 United States dollars or so, and then shipping to me was very reasonable. So, let's go ahead and take it out of the package. It's brand new. It's all here. So, we have 12 darts, instructions, and the blaster itself. Let's time-lapse this into existence. So, claiming standard elite performance, this blaster gets about that. It feels a lot like... Actually feels like it might be a little heavier than 70 FPS. Maybe it's just the darts, but it is full of features, and it is elite. Now fortunately it has all of the in-strike bells and whistles. It has an in-strike stock attachment point and a front barrel attachment. I am going to mention though, and I'm going to call Hasbro out, like without the attachments on it, it's pretty ugly. Like this front area just being completely flat like this is okay, I guess, in terms of like its AFG up here at the front is pretty comfortable, but this just sheer drop in the front. I get that it's really good for production, but it's really bad aesthetically. Similarly, there's a sheer drop on the back end here, which really only works when this specific stock is attached to it. Now, this part makes sense, but just like, there's a lot aesthetically wrong with this. Now, I know that it's like a lot of orange and a lot of blue, and that's because that seems to be the new theme for Elite. It's very similar to the Hyperfire in that regard, and the stroke is actually pretty long, but it's a little larger than a Retaliator. At least it seems that way, with like a longer faux barrel up front. Now, aesthetically, I don't think that it's super handsome. Ergonomically, it's actually not comfortable at all. We omitted the dart storage back here and only have the sling point attachment. Now, you don't have to choose between those in the regular in-strike line. Like, that used to not be a thing that you had to pick and choose between. I also want to point out that this tiny button, when I say tiny, I mean it's roughly the size of my fingernail, does not an amazing mag release make. Like, I just feel like ergonomically this is a downgrade. The handle being straight like this is not as comfortable, and it's also significantly smaller than old school in-strike handles. Like, the blaster got longer in weird places and shorter in places where we actually wanted to grip it. Like, this is not a big win. I'm glad that they called it the Delta Trooper because it's not an Alpha Trooper. It is worse than an Alpha Trooper. And maybe if you guys like this video and we get to 1,000 likes, I'll do a versus comparison of those two blasters. But let's put it back together because honestly it becomes far less hideous with all of its attachments on it. But the stock is too short and it stores nothing. Like, it's cool how it's got the cutout lasered Elite here, but like, look at this. Look at how far we have to go to like shoulder this. There's no point. It needs a much longer stock. It needs a lot of love, a lot of help. Like, I want to say that the Retaliator isn't even my favorite blaster because I never liked the Recon either, but this is better, or this is worse than those. There's no foregrip up here, so you have to use either the AFG down here or the nothing up here, and there isn't even a tactical rail down here where you'd want it to put a grip. Like, I guess you could hold it here from a modification point too, though, like with no rail and these big chunks in here, it's going to be harder to 3D print some sort of pump grip for this. Now, maybe there's a world where it's got a little bit of float under here and we use this top rail, but it's got a pretty long stroke back here as well. Now, again, the performance does seem nice. It seems like it might even be a tiny hair above regular Elite performance. Does it have slam fire? Okay, well, it does have slam fire, which is nice, but is slam fire even really that amazing when you're priming from the top slide here, chicken winging, and trying to aim all at the same time? It's great for shooting a wall that's 3 feet away, but comes with a 12-round magazine, and that is a nice feature, but there's no place on this blaster to store more ammo, including the handle, and there's no place to store extra magazines on it either. So, in all honesty, I'm going to say that the Delta Trooper is not a good use of your money. I think that you're better off finding any one of the comparable performance Elite blasters out there on the shelf as opposed to buying one of these, especially at retail. The balance on it is really weird. The aesthetic of it is obnoxiously two-toned. And I know that there's some detail work down here or whatever, but like, it's just, there's only deco on one side. We've got Delta Trooper and the Nerf logo pointed out here, and then on this side nothing, which just makes it more plain. Like, I don't want to seem like I'm completely whining about this blaster, but it's just not that great. I would love to give it a full overhaul, and I will be doing a complete modification guide on this blaster, which I'll be launching on this channel, even though nobody will watch it. But I do really love the Alpha Trooper. I think that it's the best Elite blaster, period, and I'll be modifying this, trying to get it up to that level of performance at least, and then I don't know what we're going to do with this awful ergonomic top slide conundrum of sorts, but it's not a bad blaster. It's just, it costs more than anything like it before, and it does less. I'd rather have a Surge Fire than this blaster personally, even though the Surge Fire also has a very similar sort of ugly aesthetic. I think that, man, I really wanted the Delta Trooper to be great. I really wanted to love this blaster. I think it's got an interesting place, but instead of being the best of the Alpha Trooper and the Retaliator combined, it seems to be the worst of both. These accessories are never going to look good on anything else that's out on the market so far, so realistically I'm sort of weighing it on its merits in this form, and it's just not amazing like this. Whereas the Alpha Trooper, without any accessories on it, is an awesome CQB Springer. This is a strictly worse Retaliator in my mind. But I'll let you guys be the judge. What do you think of the Delta Trooper? It definitely needs a mod guide, so I will get right on that. But as far as it goes, like on its own merits, I think this one's a pass. Wait for it to be on sale. Yikes.